Hello viewers, welcome to my channel Pharmacypedia. In continuation to our lecture series on cosmetic evaluation, we are going to further study about another interesting topic, that is about the measurement of hair tensile strength. So first let us try to understand the composition of the hair, and so that we understand what is the tensile strength and how do we measure the tensile strength. Hair fibers are typically made up of a material known as the alpha keratin. Alpha keratin is the same substance of which our nails, claws, or like wool, horns in the animals are present. So it is the same, like we have the nails, it is made up of the alpha keratin. So another type is also there, also known as the beta keratin. Human hairs are made up of substance alpha keratin. Alpha keratin has a specific helical secondary structure, and it can be easily differentiated from beta keratin, which is present in the shape of the sheets. So the typical hair fiber has a diameter of about 50 to 100 micrometers and is covered by an outermost layer called cuticle. In my previous video, you can understand and learn about the structure of hair. Hairs are basically composed of three parts: cortex, medulla, and cuticle. So when we talk about the strength of the hair, and when we talk about the tensile strength specifically, it is being derived from the cortex part. Cortex is the centermost part, medulla is the middle part, and cuticle is the outermost part. When we do our hairdressing activities, or like you have your hairs get straightened up, or other things like that, hairstyling activities, the thermomorphology of the cuticle edges get all disturbed by weathering, or like by combing activities, or like brushing. So they actually affects the outermost part, that is the cuticle part. But when we talk about the tensile strength, you will be amazed here to know and understand that it is basically derived from the cortex part. So when we talk at the nanometer scale, the hairs are composed of intermediate filaments, which are made up of which have the high sulfide content. So one in, uh, intermediate filament has a diameter of about 7.5 nanometers and is found by the 8 protofilaments. So each protofilament is basically composed on its turn of 4 right-handed alpha helix chain. Therefore, a total of 32 chains forms an intermediate filaments. Human hair fibers have approximately about 65 to 95% weight of the proteins and almost about 32% of the water. Rest it is made up of the lipid pigments and other components. So therefore, chemically the properties of human hair are dominated by the alpha keratin. It has been demonstrated that the tensile properties of the hair are mostly produced by the cortex and not the cuticle part. Now let us try to understand the evaluation of cosmetic hair products for understanding the hair, its properties. Now when we talk about the evaluation of efficacy of hair care products, it involves multiple tests, and the tests required should be very specific and accurate. These techniques have advantage over subjective evaluations because they actually give you the digitized quantified values. They will not demand a group of volunteers. They frequently demand only a short period of the time. They use specific hair locks and must meet the standards. So on the artificial hairs, you are basically performing these evaluation criteria. When we talk about all the hair care products, they are being tested on in vitro analysis pattern, and we are actually trying to understand its properties. We are actually trying to evaluate its criteria in terms of a testing divide, in terms of a technique whereby you have some value. That value can be compared with another value over the during complete treatment regimen. For example, you are using any hair oil, or you are using any hair substance shampoos. You can try to understand to how much extent it is actually easing out, or it is affecting your hair tensile strength. Tensile strength, as the term indicates the strength which each hair fiber is having. So when you undergo any treatment, the hair strength is being maintained, or it is being altered, or it is being improved. That can only be known if you perform any specific hair tensile strength test. So when we talk about the determination of hair tensile strength, there are number of parameters, number of techniques, number of methods, number of devices which are being used to measure the tensile strength. All these tests mentioned over here, all these techniques mentioned over here does not talk about the tensile strength. Some of them may are actually used to understand the hair properties, physical properties of the hair, how much extent the hair has been weathered or the cuticle has been disturbed. So some of the different properties are being determined by different techniques. So these are the claims being made by the various cosmetic products, and these are the technologies which are being applied. For example, when we talk about the determination of damaged hair reduction, we try to use the techniques like protein loss, electrophoresis, SEM, TEM, atomic force microscopy, optical coherence tomography, Raman spectroscopy. So by when we are using these techniques, we are actually trying to analyze the damaged hair reduction. The outermost cuticle part of the hair has been damaged. You want to improve that damaged part. For that, you need to understand the current status of the hair, which can be determined by these technology. Now there are other parameters as well. For you want to evaluate the hair shine properties, that can be determined by the gloss diffuse reflectance spectrophotometry. Or you want to talk about the you want to understand about the easy to comb, or also known as the combability, that can be determined using the combing resistance test. Or you want to determine the strength properties, mechanical properties, tensile strength properties. You need to understand here how much is the resistance to breakage. Then you want to determine the photo protection of your particular hair strands. Then the technique utilized here is the photoluminescence spectroscopy. So like long lasting colors, diffuse reflectance spectrophotometry, or like heat protection, it can be determined using the differential scanning calorimetry and thermogravimetry. Or like using the moisturizing hairs, so in that case you need to use the near infrared spectroscopy, differential scanning calorimetry, and thermogravimetry. So now you can understand these are the claims being claimed by the cosmetic products, hair care products. Sometimes they claim that they can reduce the damaged hair, or they can increase the hair shining, or like they can have the photo protection. For establishing these claims, these methods are being tested for those particular products. These techniques are being utilized for those products. So as I've told earlier, for studying the cuticle part and weathering, or like the outermost part of the hair, that is the cuticle, when it gets damaged, so you need to undergo a treatment to improve that damage. You need to understand and utilize the techniques whereby you can know the current status of the damage. That can be determined using the SEM, scanning electron microscopy, or by using transmission electron microscopy, or by using the atomic force microscopy, or this is more advanced, optical coherence tomography. Optical coherence tomography is a new morphological method for non-invasive investigation in cosmetology. Internal sectional images of high resolution are enabled by this method of investigation of internal microstructures from living tissues. It utilizes the principle of low length coherence interferometry, biological structure images with high resolution. So you can see it is providing you better resolution images. Then spectroscopic analysis are also used to understand the hair damage using the infrared spectroscopy, or like Raman spectroscopy. Now, photoluminescence spectroscopy is used to calculate out the hair shining properties. So, when it is desired to evaluate the effects of solar radiation on the degradation of the internal structure of the hair, what is the harmful effect the solar energy is actually making to the hairs, or also hair photo protection obtained by the cosmetic ingredients. If you are utilizing any cosmetic hair product and it is claiming that it is having sunlight protection, like we use creams, like we use various sunscreens, so such sort of protection is being given by any cosmetic hair product. It needs to understand, it needs to be calculated, it needs to be determined by using this photoluminescence spectroscope. Because what happens is that photoluminescence spectroscopic analysis can be used because in here amino acids are susceptible to photodegradation, such as tryptophan. So in the presence of sunlight, the hair gets degraded because of the presence of amino acids, and this amino acids gets converted to tryptophan, so which is an intrinsic fluorophore, and this can be further determined by this using this spectroscopic technique. Now, another technique which is used in for the cosmetic evaluation of hairs is the diffuse reflectance spectrophotometry. Now, what is this technique is basically based on the correlation between the energy reflectance and absorption and scattering coefficient of a specific sample. So, the color change is determined by the diffuse reflectance. So, again, it is measured by or with a specific spectrophotometer, and integrating sphere can be used to capture the scattered light from the sample. So another parameter which is being determined to determine the hair damage is the protein loss. The hair fibers, which is when exposed to physical or chemical treatment, may suffer damage to its structure and thus may be altered in the protein composition. So this alteration in the protein composition can be evaluated easily by the quantitative assay of the extracted hair amino acids. Next comes the mechanical properties. We are talking about the tensile strength. Here we are talking about the mechanical properties. Here actually has both the kinds of properties. It has some elastic property as well as it has the plastic property. So when we talk about the tensile strength, we are actually trying to determine the plastic property of the hair. And how do we determine that? By we can determine that in various ways, various techniques. We are just trying to actually expose the single hair strand and adding weight to it till it breaks down. So the weight, a maximum weight that hair strand can actually take will give you the tensile property of that particular hair strand. So you can say plastic property of the hair fiber is measurable when a force is applied. The hair fiber extends its part due to this force and effect, stretching about 2% of its original length. So how much weight that strand of the hair is actually able to withstand before breakage will give you the analysis of the tensile property of the hair strand. So if you undergo any treatment, you can just analyze after application of that particular cosmetic that tensile strength has been improved or not. Also, there are availability of instruments like tensile testers, which are commercially available, or like Diastron MTT, modified dynamometer, or texturometer. So these texturometer, what is the principle behind that? It simply says that hair strands are fixed on a support. You just hang out the hair strand part oriented from root to the tip. Now then the device applies a force or a load to disrupt the fiber. We want the fiber to break, but we want to see at how much load the strand of the hair is being getting broken down. So it is actually registered by the software, converting this information into a load graph. How much load that hair strand is actually able to withstand, we are continuously calculating, and this all data is being digitized using the software system, and it is also being recorded at the same time. So when you undergo the treatment, again you measure the tensile properties, you can just assess the cosmetic evaluation. Okay, so you can say that there are certain cosmetic activities like straightening or like bleaching. It actually alters the resistance to breakage and tensile properties of the human hair. So while whereas other hairstyling activities like use of conditioner does not interfere with the test results. Now, another interesting property of when we talk about the hair tensile strength is the combing resistance analysis. Now, what is combing? It is altogether when you don't comb your hair for a long time, you get the locks. Now when you remove these locks, this is actually there is a resistance to comb. When you apply the comb onto the locks, it is not passing, allow it to pass through. So what you are being felt is the resistance. So we actually measures this resistance, and it is also a subjective perception of difficulty or ease in which the hairs can be combed. So this is directly related to the forces that oppose the action of the combing hair. So this is altogether an important attribute in the conditioning of hairs, and this type of combing resistance analysis is done for the evaluation of these conditioners and other hair care products, because they improve once you apply the conditioners, you will definitely prove the improvement in the combing resistance. So how much extent is the improvement in the combing resistance, or when you need to compare the efficacy of these conditioners, you can evaluate through these tests. So I hope now you're clear about the various properties, in vitro properties of the hairs you are aware about the properties of the hairs and what sort of the technique or what sort of the testing is being required to assess what sort of the parameters. Thank you for watching my video. Please do like, share and subscribe to Pharmacypedia. Also, please provide your views in the comment box. Happy learning.